Hello and welcome again to another day of classes. Today we're going to be continuing with the Interchange 5th edition level 3, the Korean book. And today we're going to be starting with the unit 11. As always, we start with the language summary or the vocabulary for this lesson. So let's jump right in with some nouns. Okay? Apology. A regretful acknowledgement of an offense or failure. Basically, an apology is what you say when you do something bad to a person. And it's like, I did this wrong. I'm sorry. Is everything okay now? That. Bank account. An arrangement with a bank which allows you to keep your money in the bank and to take some out when you need it. Basically, the bank account is your place in the bank where you can, have all of your money stored. I would like to have this amount of money in my life, but sadly I don't have it. Blackmail. Action of threatening to reveal a secret about someone unless they do something you tell them to do, such as giving you money. To blackmail, it's basically to say, oh, I have this, and I know that you don't want nobody to know that you do this, so give me money or do this, or else I will say to everybody, basically. Crush, a strong but temporary feeling of liking someone. If you have a crush on someone, it means that you are really interested in that person and you want to be his or her special somethings. Yeah, special relationship. Every time you touch, you get this feeling. Hey, can I borrow a pen? Yes. Ooh. Driver's license is license to drive. It's basically if you have this card, it means that you are certified to drive a car. Essay. A short piece of writing on a particular subject, especially one done by students as part of the work for a course. Basically, an essay is a text related to a topic. Financial advisor. A financial advisor provides financial advice, oh wow, or guidance to customers for compensation. Basically, they tell you how to better use your money. What's the best thing to invest or how to use your money in a more intelligent way, so to say. Grade. A level of quality, size, importance, etc. Basically, your grade, it means how good or how bad it is. Being an A, a really good grade, and an F, and etc., a really bad grade. Internship. A period of time during which someone works for a company or organization in order to get experience of a particular type of work. Basically, an internship is when you work for free, but to get the experience that you need to get an actual job. And some internships, actually, you get money from them. Student loan. An agreement by which a student at a college or university borrows money from a bank to pay for their education and then pays the money back after they finish studying and start working. Basically, your student loans are you don't have money to pay college, but you want to study in college. So you take a loan, now you have a debt, and after you get your job, you're supposed to pay that loan. But look at this, 26K, $74,000. Oh my God, I prefer not to go to college. Holy. Milestone. An important event in the development or history or of something or in someone's life. Basically, a milestone is a really important event in something or person. Paycheck. It's the check where you get paid, basically. Okay. This is the check where every 15 days or every month you get paid from the work that you have done in your job. Regret. A feeling of sadness about something said or wrong or about a mistake that you have made and a wish that it could have been different and better. When you regret is when something bad happened and it's like, oh my God, I wish this was in a different way. I didn't mean to do that or I didn't mean to say that. Turning point. Usually, sorry, you remember apology? Well, usually an apology must be coming from regret. Like you need to feel bad about the thing that you've done and wanting to do something about it. In the end, we only regret the chances we didn't take. Turning point. The time at which a situation starts to change in an important way. The turning point is basically the specific moment when something is changing to be so different that it cannot be the same as it was in the past. For example, a turning point in human history is with the invention of the internet because everything changed. Sabotage. The act of intentionally trying to stop someone from achieving something or to stop something from developing. It's when you do bad things to, make something not happen. Sense. An ability to understand, recognize, value, or react to something, especially any of the five physical abilities to see, hear, smell, taste, and feel. These are the five senses. So when you sense something or you have the sense, it means that you can perceive different things. You can see with your eyes, smell with your nose, hear with your ears, taste with your tongue, and touch with your fingers and skin. Sleepover. A type of party when a young person or a group of young people stay for the night at the house of a friend. And basically they, stay up late by talking about different things, watching movies, etc. Usually this is most common with girls. Teamwork. The activity of working together in a group with other people, especially when this is successful. Teamwork is working in a team, basically. The word says it. Let's see some adjectives. Ambitious. Having or showing a strong desire and determination to succeed. Very good. Argumentative. Using or characterized by systematic reasoning. Someone that is argumentative thinks of the pros and the cons, things are good, things are bad, what we should consider, what we shouldn't consider because it doesn't have any logic, etc. Carefree, having no problems or not being worried about anything. It's like, I just don't care. Mature or immature. Okay, so we have the positive and the negative. Mature and immature. Mature people behave like adults in a way that shows they are well developed emotionally. And immature, it means that you act like a kid. For example, mature thinking. I must earn. It's about others. Challenge my views. I will buy my own stuff. Nobody owes me anything. I'm responsible for my success. But with an immature thinking, I deserve, I'm entitled, I pay my bills, take care of me, do not offend me. It's really all about me. It's like when you don't care about anything else than you, and you're being immature. You're not following reason. Naive. I'm pragmatic. Naive. Too willing to believe that someone is telling the truth, that people's intention in general are good, or that life is simple and fair. Basically, when you are naive, it means that you believe in the good of everyone, but you know that not everyone is good. But if you think of them like, I'm sure this person is good, I'm sure that he doesn't want to hurt me in any way, but it's actually hurting you, so you're being naive. What are other words for naive? Unsophisticated, innocent. This is something really related to naive. Innocent, simple, ingenuous. It's another really good word for naive. Artless, gullible, credulous. Credulous is another good word. Guileless, unworldly, and unaffected. And then we have pragmatic, solving problems in a sensible way that suits the conditions that really exist now, rather than obeying fixed theories, ideas, or rules. Okay, so some things that are opposite of pragmatic, the different thing, opposite. It's impractical, unrealistic, idealistic, unreasonable, inefficient, irrational, excited, theoretical, and romantic. Basically, if you're working in a pragmatic way, you're trying to do it with the most logic and the most efficient way possible. Okay? Rebellious, difficult to control and do not behave in the way that is expected. Someone that is rebellious is someone that doesn't comply with the rules. Responsible and irresponsible, having the duty of taking care of something. If you're responsible, you do the things that you're supposed to do. If you're irresponsible, you will not do the things that you're supposed to do. Okay? When we talk about deadlines, if you're responsible, you did it before the deadline. If you're irresponsible, you didn't do it. Oh wow. Selfish, caring only about what you want or need without any thought for the needs or wishes of other people. When you are selfish, you only think in yourself, what you need, what you want, what you think, only you, not the others, and you don't care about the others. Short-fused, quick-tempered, to get angry very easily. Some other words for short-fused are irritable, cranky, cantankerous. I have never seen this word before. Grouchy, ill-tempered, snappish, testy, irascible, crotchety, crotchety, what? Crabby. Okay, if you're like a crab, you're short-fused, so you get angry really easily. Basically, it's that. Short-fused, it's someone that gets angry really, really, really easy. Sophisticated, having a good understanding of the way people behave and or a good knowledge of culture and fashion. If you're sophisticated, it means that you have, class within you. Wise, having or showing the ability to make good judgments based on a deep understanding and experience of life. That is when you're wise. A clever person solves a problem. A wise person avoids it. Albert Einstein said that. Maybe. We don't know. Heartfelt, deeply and strongly felt, sincere. It means like you feel it in your heart, so it's really strong. Some other words are sincere, earnest, honest, unfeigned, genuine, devout, wholehearted, true, hearty, and bona fide. I have never seen this before. Tough, strong, not easily broken or made weaker or defeated. Okay, so tough it's someone that is strong. That's the easiest way to explain it. Let's see some verbs. Blame, to say or think that someone or something did something wrong or is responsible for something bad happening. It's like, oh no, he was the one who broke it, so the blame's on him. I blame him for breaking the pot. Okay? Borrow, to get or receive something from someone with the intention of giving it back after a period of time. Can I borrow some money? Okay, so the person is lending it. Sure, I can lend you some, and the other person is borrowing. When you borrow, is that you take something for a time, but you will give it back. Get a paycheck. Okay, I think this is pretty self-explanatory. Get a credit card. Same. Get married. It's when you have your husband or you have your wife in your life now. Retire. Leave one's job and cease to work, typically on reaching the normal age for leaving service. So when you get old, you cannot continue working as much, so you retire. Look something up. To check a fact or get information about something. Okay. Lose. When you lose is when you don't win, so you don't have it. Move away. Go to live in another area. Okay. Reject. To refuse to accept, use, or believe something or someone. The reject is when you say no to something or an idea or a person or whatever. Hurt. When you hurt something, so to hurt is to cause physical pain in someone. Okay. Take care of yourself. Okay. When you take care of yourself, it's when you look after yourself, after you. You want yourself to be good, to have a good feeling, and basically to love yourself. Take out a loan. To get money from a bank. Okay, so, your loans, you take out a loan. Yell. To shout something or make a loud noise, usually when you're angry, in pain, or excited. It's basically to talk really loud. Spend time. When you spend time, it's when you put your time on activities that you're gonna do. Okay, for example, being with your friends. So you're spending time with your friends. You're using your time to be with them. Stay in touch. An informal parting phrase used especially with a person one isn't likely. Okay, a person that isn't likely to see again anytime soon. Basically, you say stay in touch when you're not going to see this person again in a long time. So you say, hey, don't forget about me. Let's talk sometimes, call you sometimes, etc. Okay, well, that was all of the vocabulary for today, but we're gonna come back here for when we get to the grammar. For now, let's go to the book. Okay, so we have Unit 11, Rites of Passage. Interesting. In this unit, we're gonna be discussing life events and milestones, and we're also going to describe regrets and hypothetical situations. Okay, so this is gonna be interesting. Okay, let's start with this snapshot. Unforgettable firsts. Okay? Things that you have done for your first time. Some moments that matter. The first sleepover. Have you ever had a first sleepover? Losing your first tooth. Maybe it was really trippy for you. First day at school. Most of us will not remember. First pet. Most of us will remember. First swim in the ocean. I don't remember that. First crush. I do remember that. First trip with friends. High school graduation. I remember that. First paycheck. Oh, I remember that. Getting your driver's license. I'm still not there yet. Entering college. I remember it. And the first heartbreak. Ooh, that's a really bad one. Which of these first experiences were important for you? Okay? You can tell and talk about that down in the comments and I will read you. Okay? But okay, let's continue with this conversation. I was so immature. Okay, we're gonna listen to both part A and part B of this conversation about Jim and Luke. And then after listening to part B, you're gonna answer the question, what was an important turning point for Jim and for Luke? Okay, so let's listen and then we're gonna check. Okay, let's listen.
Unit 11, Rites of Passage. Page 72. Exercise 2. Conversation. I was so immature. Part A. Listen and practice.
Congratulations, graduate. What's next for my favorite nephew?
I'm your only nephew, Uncle Jim.
But you're still my favorite. Anyway, what are your plans?
I'm looking for a job so I can make some money before I go to college.
After I graduated, I went to Alaska to work as a fisherman. It was a tough job, but it helped me grow up.
How do you mean?
Until I started working, I'd never had any important responsibilities. I was so immature. But once I moved away from home, I had to learn to take care of myself.
So you became independent?
Yeah, but not for very long, actually. After 2 months, I moved back home and got a job at your grandfather's store.
Hey, I think my search just ended. I'm going to talk to Grandpa about a job.
Page 72. Exercise 2. Part B. Listen to the rest of the conversation. What was an important turning point for Jim? For Luke?
So that job was a turning point in your life.
One of them, but the most important was becoming a parent. When your cousin Bella was born, my life changed completely, and I changed too. Before that, I never used to worry about the future, but then I realized I was responsible for another person, and that made me take life more seriously. What about you? Have you had any life-changing experiences yet?
Well, I guess making the basketball team really changed my life. For the first time, other people really depended on me to do my best. Since I'm an only child, I hadn't had much experience working with others before I joined the team.
That's great.
Yeah, I learned how to be a team player and not be so selfish, And our team, we really grew up together over the past 4 years. It was so rewarding when our hard work paid off and we won the championship last year.
Oh, that's great. It was really interesting conversation. It was a really interesting conversation. But did you get the answer for this? Remember that if not, you can go back in the video and listen one more time. But what was an important turning point for Jim and for Luke? Well, for Jim, it was when he became a parent, when the cousin of Luke was born, and the turning point for Luke was when he joined the basketball team and started to be a team player. Okay, very good. Now, let's go straight into the grammar focus for today that we're going to be having time clauses. Okay, so we have seen this in the past, but this is going to be interesting. We're going to be seeing some more of these time clauses. Okay, let's see. So we have the time clauses with examples. Okay, so we have different conjunctions and some examples for each one of those. Okay, let's start with this. First, time clauses are basically sentences that are talking about and describing a point in time. And for those, we have different conjunctions. We have when, while, as soon as, after, before, until, whenever, once, as, since, by the time, till, and every time. Okay? Okay, let's go one by one. We use when for a specific time, basically. Let's cross the bridge when we come to it. Okay? So the specific time is when we get to the bridge. While it's for actions that are occurring in the same time as another one. We'll keep on driving while there is still daylight. Okay? As soon as this is used when we're talking about an action that it's going to start after the another one finish, like exactly after that moment. The baby can cry as soon as he is born. So the moment that he is born, right in that moment, as soon as that, he is gonna cry. Okay? After, it means in the future. Okay? After I had finished my homework, I went to bed. Okay? So in the future of finishing his homework, he went to bed. Okay? Before, it means in the past. Don't count your chickens before they are hatched. Okay, so then this is a type of phrase that they say, but basically we're saying that if they are not hatched, if the eggs of the chicken are not hatched, that means that you don't see the chickens already, then don't start counting. But the thing is with here before, don't count your chickens before they are hatched. So don't do it. This needs to happen first. Don't do it in the past before it. Okay. Until means a time that is going to be occurring something up to a point. Okay, so it's gonna finish in that point until that point. We played cards to kill time until the bus came. So they were doing this until to the moment that this happened, the bus came. Whenever means any time. Always lock your car whenever you leave it. Okay, so any time that you leave your car, you need to lock it. Once, it means only one time. Making an omelette is easy once you have got the knack or you know how to do it. Okay? So after this moment, it means it's easy for you. As it's similar to while. Okay? It means that it's something happening at the same time. That looked sad and worried as he read the letter. So he was reading the letter and he also was looking sad and worried at the same time. Since, it means from a moment in the past until now. Susan has changed a lot since I last saw her. Okay, so it started when he last saw her, and until now. By the time, it means starting to when we get to that time, basically. By the time she was 8, she could read Greek and Latin. It means that in the moment that she was at this age, she could do that. Till, it means it's another way to say until, okay? he'll keep the book for me till I come back. Okay? So it's basically the same as until. Every time, sorry. Okay, every time. Every time means that each one of the different opportunities, each one of them, it happens. Every time I ask him about it, I get a different answer, basically. So all of the times that this happened, he gets a different answer. Okay, but now let's say it together with the grammar for today. So we have the time clauses. And with this, it means that we can start with these conjunctions that we were seeing. You can start the sentence with them, or we can put it in the middle. Instead of saying, I had never worked before I graduated from school, you can say, before I graduated from high school, I had never worked. After I graduated, I went to Alaska to work as a fisherman. Okay? It's basically the same thing, just putting it backwards, starting with the clause, okay, with the conjunction. And when you finish the clause, you need to put a comma in the middle. So either you have it like this: I went to Alaska to work as a fisherman after I graduated, without any commas. You don't need a comma there. But if you start with the conjunction, then you need to put a comma. Once I moved away from home, comma, I learned to take care of myself. The moment I moved away from home, comma, I felt like a different person. Or I felt like a different person the moment I moved away from home. As soon as I got my own bank account, I started to be more responsible. Until I moved to Alaska, I had never been away from home. By the time I went to college, I had already lived away from home. Okay? This is a really easy topic, and I hope that you understand. Okay, so let's see this activity right here. You're going to match the column A with the appropriate information in column B. Okay, so this can have multiple type of answers. So it can be different from yours to mine, but I will give some examples and you can do the rest. Okay. Until I went to college, I have never taken school very seriously, for example. Okay. Before I became a parent, I had never worried about the future. That's another one. By the time I was 15, I learned the importance of teamwork. That can be an option. Until I left home, I learned that love can hurt. That maybe it's not such a good option, but it can be said. Basically, what we can see here is that we have different type of uses for clauses. Here we have clauses, and you can put and match it together. You put it in different ways. Okay, I hope that you have understood this. Sorry. Okay, now let's go to the last thing for the day, that it's gonna be a listening. Okay? Turning points. You're gonna listen to 3 people describe important events in their lives. And also, you're gonna answer, what do these 3 people have in common? Okay? So take your time to listen to listen as much times as you need, and then we're gonna check, okay? Okay, so let's listen.
Page 74. Exercise 4. Listening. Turning points. Part A. Listen to 3 people describe important events in their lives. Complete the chart.
Good morning, listeners. I'm Mark Markinson, and we're back talking about turning points. Those moments when something happens in our lives and afterward we're never quite the same. Let's go to our first caller, Nari.
Hi, Mark. I'm South Korean and came to Boston by myself when I was 17. Transitioning was hard. I had studied English but had never practiced with anyone. I was so nervous at first, and the second week I had to buy a cell phone. I was terrified, but the salesperson understood my first question and I understood his answer. The moment that happened, I knew I was going to be okay with my English and get my dream job in Boston. So I guess buying a cell phone was my turning point with my English.
Thank you, Nari, and your English sounds great. Let's go to Anthony.
Hi, Mark. Well, I started working for myself 1 year ago.
What made you decide to do it, Anthony?
I was doing graphic design for this company, and I was bored. I didn't like the company or town I lived in. I wanted to work for myself. I'd say my turning point was the day I started looking for my own clients online. As soon as I did that, I knew I was serious. I started doing freelance work, saving money, and 1 year later I quit my job and moved to Chicago.
Love those entrepreneur stories. We have time for one more call.
Hi, I'm Karina. I'm a doctor, but I didn't always know that was my calling. My aunt had cancer, and I took care of her during the hardest part of her treatment. After she finished treatment, she told me I had taken better care of her than any doctor. That's when I knew I wanted to help people like her. So my aunt's sickness was my turning point to decide my career.
And I'm sure your aunt is very proud. Thank you for sharing, Karina. And listeners, that's all the time we have for today. I'm Mark Markinson. Have a great day.
Okay, very good. Did you get all of the answers? If not, just listen to it one more time. But if you did, let's see those answers. Let's check. Okay, for Natty, her turning point was that she bought a phone. And, it affected her because she knew she was going to be okay with her English and get her dream job in Boston. For Anthony, his turning point was when he started getting his own clients, and it affected him because he became serious about working for himself. And then Karina, her turning point was her aunt's illness, and it affected her because she knew she wanted to be a doctor and help people like her. Okay, but did you get to, to see what these three people have in common? Maybe if you need to listen again, just listen to it one more time. But if you have the answer, let's see. Well, what they have in common is that they turning points all help their careers. Was that your answer? Let me know in the comments. But okay, this has been everything for today. In the next class, we're going to be continuing with the rest of the unit, and we're going to be seeing how to express regret and describe hypothetical situations. That is going to be really interesting, so look forward for it. But that's been everything for today, so see you in the next time. Bye!